Welcome back, YouTube, to more MSQ playthrough. We are in Endwalker. We have just wrapped up Palakistan, I believe. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Needs to simmer just a bit longer, I'd say. In the meantime, I was hoping I might ask you a few questions. The red sky, these terrible beasts. What in the name of the sisters is happening here in Devner? Oh my, that's rather a lot to take in. It would seem the situation is even more grave than we suspected. Thank you, friend. My colleagues and I will use your knowledge to see if it can further our own research. And with that, here we are. A pot of piping hot chai, brewed from my own secret recipe of spices and tea leaves, together with hearty helpings of rich milk and pure sugar. I've made enough for everyone in the village. Might I trouble you to deliver a few cups? Drink has medicinal properties, then? Not in the least. The ingredients are quite ordinary. It's so very tasty, though, and has a way of lifting the spirits. The spicy aroma and distinctive sweetness of chai is a simple, everyday pleasure on our island. Sometimes the best medicine is the simplest. A lovely sentiment, Nadonna. By all means, allow us to assist. While you lot distribute hot beverages, I'll do a sweep for errant beasts to slay. A far less arduous task, no doubt. When you've finished, look for me at the wakeful Tirana. They be in their homes, probably? Maybe not. Wait, I know you. You were the one who saved us from those beasts back at the temple. Were it not for you, let's not even think about that. At times like this, we mustn't dwell on what might have been, but look to the future. But what future awaits us? How can Radzahan hope to recover from this? Most of my friends are gone and I don't know where to turn. A cup of chai? Well, if you insist. That aroma has a way of clearing the mind. Come to think of it, we've faced our fair share of trials in the past as well. And no matter how hard the times, we've always come together as a people united. One day at a time. One step at a time. But that is all any of us can do. Yes, back to work. Once I finish this cup, thank you. Look at them all lazing about, knowing full well the beast might strike again at any moment. Do they not realize their lives are in danger? Well, I, for one, intend to survive. I'm too young to die. Yes, I'll leave this island behind if I must, but where would I go? Is anywhere safe these days? A cup of chai? Can't you see I have more important things to worry about? No. No, you're right. It is precisely in times like these that we must strive to remain calm and steady. I do believe I'll visit the Elder and see what needs to be done. If there's any way I can aid my village and my friends, I will do it. And where this last person is, I have no idea. Alpha Node's there, Alice's in this building. There we go, thank God. I'm sorry, I just want to be left alone. My best friend and I, we fled the village together. One of the beasts took him and it's all I could do to run. All the while I could hear this monstrous voice screaming my name. This one for me. We used to drink chai together often, shared stories over steaming cups after a hard day's work. Thank you, friend. The pain may never pass, but I must press on all the same, for his memory and for you, we who must remember. Thank you for delivering the chai. Did it help to lift the villagers' spirits? That is heartening to hear. Indeed, the final days show no signs of abating, but that is all the more reason that we must try to keep our composure. Our lives have been forever changed. The people we have lost will never return to us. These tragedies will long weigh on our hearts, but we have the capacity to live with our suffering, to Carry the agony till we too join the fallen in death. It is not a surrender, but a recognition, or it is only an acceptance that we find the strength to move forward. As you have finished your deliveries, might I talk with you for a moment? I was curious to know what has become of Mavan and Karasaf's remains. Thank you, friend. Surely they will be able to rest peacefully by each other's side. I and the people of Pakistan will perform the rites as soon as we are able. As for the child, it will not be easy for her growing up without her parents, but I promise I'll do what I can. Once she is able to eat solid food, the fish I will catch will nourish her. Well, we finished delivering the chai. I do believe everyone has a piping hot cup. I could almost believe there's a magic at work, how the tension fades with every sip. Let us pray that Pakistan has seen the last of those transformations, at least for now. They are still at risk, as every village in Thavner alike is not. Still, I trust we can leave this place in the care of our friends from the Radiant and the High Crucible. Shall we return to Radzidhan? By all means, do not let us keep you further. There are still many who need of your wisdom and strength to deliver them from this terrible calamity. And I will do what I can as well. I will bring rations and supplies from Machiali. We have plenty to spare. Let us find Justinian and be on our way. Where did he wander off to again? The Wakeful Torana, near the bridge to Radzatan, as I recall. Very well. Avno told me everything. Full glad am I to hear the people are safe. Likewise, you will be pleased to know I found no evidence of lingering beasts in the jungle and ruins. It would seem you finished off the last of them. Trying times yet lie ahead for the people of Thavner. Fortunately, they have a wise and benevolent satrap to shepherd them through. Speaking of which, I received word from Thancred not a short while ago. He awaits our return in the city of Anzal's path. Come. It is good to see you safe. Given the skies, 'tis all too easy to fear the worst. I am pleased to report that we're succeeded in quelling the threat here in the city. Beasts have all been felled, and the citizens are safe for now. I've also heard from the Radiant that an important proclamation will be made in the city square, though they said no more than that. Might you have any idea what this is about? So Vitra is finally coming out from behind the curtain. Suppose we too should hear what he has to say. To Megaduta then, but before that, it would appear that the word of the assembly has not yet reached all the citizens. If anyone along the way seems unaware, we'd best enlighten them. The beast's all gone. I've been hiding and I'm too scared to go out and look. Oh, that's a relief. I thought one of those beasts was going to eat me. I wonder where Varshan is. He's the slowest runner. I hope he got away. He could be with the other people from the palace. Maybe I'll see him in the square. Leave me be, please. I swear to you, my flesh tastes absolutely terrible. Oh gods, what are you doing scaring me like that? If we're not quiet, those beasts will find us. The square, you say? That's where the satrap was killed. With my very eyes I saw him crushed in that creature's maw. Many lives lost, such terrible carnage. And you say there is someone else who would lead Radzatan in his stead? Whoever they are, if they say anything to sully the memory of our beloved satrap, I'll make them regret it.
Someone's coming.
People of Razathan, it warms my heart to see so many brave, resilient souls before me. Today, I would share with you a great revelation. But before I do, I must make a humble request. Do not be alarmed, nor avert your eyes. See the one I unveil for who he is, and know that he means you no harm.
Very well. I dare say it can't be worse than the horrors we've already seen.
Many thanks.
A dragon!
Wow!
People of Radzathan, I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode. 'Tis as the Satrap's ally I am known. Today, I would reveal the truth unto you.
Let us hope they accept him.
If I am hearing this right, you were the satrap all along?
Vashan! I mean, Master Vitra, does your divine eye really see all?
Nay, child. While mine eye hath borne witness to the whole of our nation's history, to its future I am blind as thee. Countrymen, calamity the likes of which we have never known is come to Fafnir, our home. Friends and loved ones have been taken from us. I, too, have lost my closest confidant. Ahawan loved this land and served it with dignity till his dying breath. A nobler satrap there will never be. For so long, I lacked the courage to face you. I will not easily earn your trust, this I know. And yet, I cannot sit idly by and abandon Radzathan to her fate. A font of boundless vibrancy, this jewel of the ocean. Since time immemorial, hath she glittered with every color imaginable. To this dragon, slumbering in his dark lair, 'twas a mesmerizing sight, and one that brought no end of joy to my heart. This calamity hath stolen too much from you already, yet so long as you live, the light of Radzathan will never be extinguished. I pray you let me watch over it, over you, and lend me your strength, that we might face this trial and those to come as one.
I do not know you, dragon, but I thank you for speaking the truth to us. As divinities, both Manusha and Riga once joined together, so too do I believe that hand in hand, we can overcome this ordeal and welcome an era of peace.
A sight that would have surely brought a smile to Azael's face. Indeed.
What the fuck are you guys doing here? So far from home. How long did it take you to get here?
Excuse me, but I must speak with the Satrap at once.
Father,
You have suffered dearly of late, yet you must endeavor to look beyond these losses to the future you yet have. On behalf of the Forum of Sharlayan, I come with a proposal by which you, the people of Radzat-Han, might be saved. I say again, I must speak with your Satrap. I beseech you, take me to him with all possible haste.
I am Satrap here. Speak thy proposal. All present shall hear and judge.
If I have given offense, then I apologize. First, allow me to share with you what knowledge we have of the phenomenon responsible for your woes. The final days. 'Tis an affliction of stagnancy and rot, sown into the currents of the star. Though the first prominent manifestation was here, in Thavner, it will invariably spread to every corner of the world. The Forum was forewarned of this apocalypse several centuries ago. Thenceforth, my predecessors sought to prepare for the end times in the only conceivable fashion, by securing a means of escape.
Escape the star? What madness is this?
'Tis by no means madness. With the coming of the seventh umbral calamity, the true nature of the Red Moon, Dalamud, was revealed. That it was an artificial construct of ancient Alag. But what of the Silver Moon? This celestial satellite is yet another technological marvel, fashioned and maintained by ancient allies. A ship that will sail the heavens and deliver our people from destruction. And by our people, I speak not only of Sharlayan. We mean to save every man, woman, and child it is within our power to save. Including you, our dear friends of Radzat-Han. Recent events necessitate adjustments be made, and quickly, but we can and will escort you safely to the moon.
Long has thy forum been allies to Thavner. I trust thou dost not extend this offer lightly. Yet I wonder, is this truly the way? Is there a future to be built for us beyond this star our father deemed the last bastion of hope?
It is for that very reason I come before you and your people. To answer any and all of your questions. To offer my assurances and allay your fears. Though, if you wish the best for your people, I advise you to render your decision swiftly.
Show our friends to Megaduta. They are to be received as honored guests. Worry not. Whatever decision is reached, your paths shall be yours to decide. Until then, heed the warning of these brave heroes. Guard your hearts against fear and despair, for it is within such fertile soil that the seeds of blasphemy find purchase.
as you say, Master Vitra. We believe in you.
Oh, you're still here. What a relief.
Nidana, what's the matter? Has something happened at Palaka's stand?
Oh, no, not that I know of. I just hope to hear your thoughts on a theory of mine. All who undergo the transformation are drained of their ether, yes? What is it then that gives these beasts the strength to carry on as they do? Logically, they must be drawing upon an alternate form of vital energy. That put me in mind of our earlier conversation when I tried to explain the essence which many confuse with ether.
Akasha, yes, I remember. The unseen gift bestowed from on high. An energy influenced solely by emotion.
Yes, yes. In this instance, negative ones set Akasha into motion, thereby infusing the beasts with vitality. I posit this as the mechanism by which the beasts are born and sustained. Ah, do you still have that flower? If we accept that it once shone bright by drawing upon Akasha, influenced by the thoughts of those nearby, then fear, terror, despair, negative emotions so powerful as to suffocate it, permeated the air in this place. You must be very careful. The forces which drive the final days may be beyond our ability to perceive. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you like that. At any rate, I will continue my research into Akasha. Do temper your expectations, however. There are sadly few detailed studies upon which I may draw.
Formulating a new theory as you have is itself no small feat. I wish you well in your endeavors, and pray you take care.
Thank you. You stay safe as well, yes? Till next we meet. And we will meet again.
As far as we have come, and after all the horrors we have seen, there is still so much we do not know about the final days. Could it be as Nadana said, the cause of this phenomenon is beyond our comprehension? And if so, are we powerless to forestall it? Greetings, honored scions of the Seventh Dawn. I have a message from His Excellency the Satrap. Brave scions, you have my gratitude for aiding my people in this most trying of times. Alas, matters here at Megaduda prevent me from meeting you all in person. As a token of mine appreciation, I have arranged for a feast to be held in your honor. May it nourish you in preparation for the trials ahead. Such are the words of Master Vitra. The feast he speaks of you awaits you at Marine's Main. Pray make your way there whenever your business here is done. We thank you for your kindness. Indeed, I was hoping we might find a place to discuss our next course of action, and that seems an ideal venue. And to you, MSQ, there is someone we had hoped to introduce to you in particular. While I am loath to detain you further, might you spare a moment of your time? A personal invitation, knowing full well your services are in highest demand right now. This must be important. Worry not, we'll have some food for you, so take all the time you need. Thank you, friend. Whenever you are ready, please join me in the Aetheryte Plaza. I shall go on ahead. Access to the Aetheryte, you see, there has been restricted to a select few ever since the tower first appeared. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience, but it was deemed too dangerous to permit the free movement of visitors at a time of emergency. A risk we could not take. In light of recent developments, however, the satrap has decided that such restrictions would only hinder our efforts to combat the final days. As such, I would encourage you to attune with the Aetheryte before proceeding along the corridor. It's about damn time. You must be wondering what this place is. You stand in the Hall of the Radiant Host, where our leadership oversees all of Radzidhan's military operations. Sundrop, our destination, lies just ahead. Welcome to Sundrop. Without further ado, allow me to introduce you to... Oh, so you're the famous MSQ Plagiar, eh? I knew it was the moment you stepped through the door. You the look of the one who's walked through hell. Rabat, please, you are speaking to the satrap's honored guest and a savior of our people. Can you not show him modicum of respect? What disrespect is there in paying a fellow warrior a compliment? We're all friends here, or it will soon be enough? More formally then, for the benefit of my countrymen, it is a pleasure to have you with us, O great champion of Eorzea, scion of the Seventh Dawn, warrior of light, and all-around good egg, I'm sure. What is this place? Here you've been to Kugane, where you'll seen all sorts of foreign embassies and whatnot. Well, we've got them here in Radzidhan too. Other lands send delegates to oversee trade and diplomatic dealings. Then, there are military matters to discuss, which is why all these officers are stationed here in Sundrop. I imagine you're more than familiar with each of the nations they represent. We've got representatives from Doma, Golda and Alamigo, Limsa Liminsa, Britannia, and last but never let it be said least, Ishgard. They're the eyes, ears, and mouths that bridge the distance between Radzidhan and their respective homelands. We've used this brief respite to share the details of our plight with our overseas counterparts, and wouldn't you know it, all of their leaders requested a few words from you specifically. You're a man in high demand. And so, would you mind regaling us with your own account? Indulge us before you indulge yourself. I thank you to the report. The conditions under which men are turned to beasts, the etheric anomalies you have observed, you have given us much to consider. It is concerning that the first transformation apparently occurred before the skies turned red. It is contrary to what one would expect. Thankfully, the information you conveyed to Lucia upon your return from the moon has already proved invaluable. As soon as reports of the calamity here in Thavner reached the Grand Company of Eorzea and our far eastern allies, our leaders knew at once that the final days were indeed upon us. They began taking steps to assess the extent of the phenomenon's spread. Our agents were able to confirm that, for the time being, the skies burn only over the Bounty, including this island and Corvos. Alas, that is of little comfort. Aye, all throughout allied lands there have been reports of people transforming into hideous beasts. From what little we have learned, these incidents are similar in nature to that involving the merchant Kauzal. As was the case here, the victims underwent the change prior to the heavens being set ablaze, and so while the burning skies have yet to manifest beyond the Bounty, the transformations did not appear to be subject to any similar restriction. If anyone anywhere overcome by despair can turn, then nowhere is safe. That's about the size of it. Speaking of which, we ought to give those creatures a name, don't you think? Here at Razatan, we've taken to calling the first to change, which tend to be the biggest, blasphemies. As fitting a name as any. To ensure clarity in future communications, we shall urge our comrades to adopt this terminology. Our leaders have taken measures to deal with the threat to the best of our abilities. Aye, each nation has assembled their own groups of elite soldiers to put down these so-called blasphemies and their spawn as soon as they appear. At the same time, they are doing all in their power to put the people's minds at ease and prevent panic and fear from spreading. That said, brave souls with the strength and fortitude to fell these terrible fiends are not easily found. Just so, and it is for that very reason we turn to you. Pray lend us your strength and help us to slay the blasphemies that plague our homelands. Now, you don't have to give your reply before dinner. I should also mention that each blasphemy seems to possess wildly different characteristics. What works well against one may serve you poorly against another. So before you go rushing off to save everyone's day, have a word with the delegates. They'll tell you what to expect. And with that, I do believe our friend here has a feast to attend. Spare a thought for us while you're tucking into all that fine cuisine, eh? You have gained access to the royal quest for Endwalker. A separate quest line and story is now available for Tank and all the others. I wonder if these are mandatory. We'll find out. Doesn't look like it. I mean, they could be. Pray forgive Sarabat her rudeness. She can be a bit boisterous at times, but it is simply her nature. Anyway, my apologies for keeping you from your hard-earned rest. You'll be rejoining your companions, yes? Do you know the way to the Mahane? I know Radzatan like the back of my hand. Glad to hear you're becoming familiar with our fair city. You'll be pleased to hear that all drinks are on the house, so order whatever suits your fancy. And with that, I must return to my post. On behalf of all the Radiant host, I thank you and your friends once more for lending your strength and courage to Radzatan in our time of need. We shall endeavor to fight the good fight to the end that we might honor our hen's legacy and serve Master Vitra well. You have my word that your efforts will not be in vain. I think I have the aetherite for... Nice. I think I'm missing one though. Welcome. When the satrap asked us to entertain a party of honored guests, I was wondering who it might be. This is a lovely surprise to say the least. By the way, I heard all about Kazal from your friend Grahatia. I understand there was nothing that could be done, but I was heartened to hear he meant us no harm. I cannot thank you enough for dispatching the beasts. As the smallest token of our thanks, your food and drink tonight are Maharad's treat. Speaking of which, what shall I start you off with? A glass of your finest local spirits. As you wish, pray join your friends and I will bring you your drink. Welcome back. Whatever did the Radiant want with you, pray tell? Our allies have sent military delegates. That's news to me. Mind sharing the details?
So blasphemies now plague all the realm.
It will only get worse if what Father said is true, as it did in Amarot.
If that's our model, then shouldn't we expect the effects to grow more severe as it feeds off its own spread? As if people transforming into those monstrosities wasn't bad enough. If the flora and fauna, if the land itself turned against us.
No one would survive.
Here's your order, friend.
That looks good.
May you find comfort in these dark times.
where do we go from here? If there's one thing we've learned, fighting blindly and simply reacting to what comes will accomplish nothing. We must find a solution that addresses the fundamental cause. Before our strength is exhausted, before this crisis spirals out of control. Is there something?
Alpha Note taking a
we've overlooked?
page out of Estinian's book and brooding in the back.
If there is an answer, Hydaelyn herself will have it. 'Twas she who bound Zodiac and forestalled the final days. Alas, we have heard naught from her since the Tower of Babel. Whether she cannot or will not speak, I can only speculate. Even the flower she gave us is no more.
In our time, we called it Elpis.
So advised the Watcher. But what could be the significance of that name? It is entirely unfamiliar to me.
To me as well. It meant something to the ancients, though. In our time.
Most surely. Yet I do not recall a single mention of it in the records of Anida.
Another dead end. And quite literally. It's not as if there are any ancients living we could go and ask.
Not alive as such, but not quite dead. Elidibus. I sealed him in the White Horus site of the Crystal Tower back on the first. Contained within that reservoir of ether that maintains it, ether that is returned little by little to the sea. Naught may remain of his soul.
But his memory?
However, if part of it lingers, we might be able to speak with him there. I know we can no longer make that journey, but you, my friend, still can.
It's worth a try.
Yes, we can but act and hope for the best.
If nothing else, should we learn the first is safe, we'll have that much more reason to keep fighting the good fight. That said, the odds are not in our favor, to say the least. Which is why we're fortunate to have Urianger up there on the moon, working hard to make all the necessary preparations for our departure, should it come to it.
And why we have nothing to lose by staying the course till the last instant.
Indeed. To the last, let us all do what we can. I will consult with Master Matoya and see if she knows of a way to reach Hydaelyn from the ethereal sea.
And I will visit the nation's leaders and attempt to ascertain how far the final days have progressed elsewhere.
Keep me abreast of your findings. I can seek out and slay the worst of the immediate threats, if only to slow the spread.
Unease, terror, despair. Try as we might to suppress them, these emotions will return to harry us time and time again. But when they do, remember this. Your friends and loved ones are out there somewhere, sharing in your struggle. You are not alone.
So ends the brief respite before the next revelation. Yes, so much left for you to see. Where beginning ends, and end begins.
Now then, is there anything we've forgotten to mention? Are your arms and armor in good order? In that case, it's time we each attended to our tasks, and when you arrive on the first, give my regards to Reen. Tell her I miss her. Take this, MSQ, my spirit vessel. Empty now, of course, but it should allow you to operate the tower systems in the umbilicus. If even the smallest fragment of Elidibus's essence remains, it should be possible to locate it. As for access to it, pray seek out Lena for assistance. Chances are she still stands watch at the ancestor gate. You should, or anyone else after me, tell them. I'm living my life to the fullest, that I am happy, hardships and all. Well, we had best be on our respective ways. God's willing, we will see each other again ere long. To the Crystarium. MSQ, you are returned. I don't know what that voice is. Have you been well? You and the others? As well as we can be. Full glad am I to hear that. I trust my lord is enjoying himself. He said this to you. These exact words. Oh, to know that he is happy. It fills my heart with joy. Thank you for taking care of him. When next you see him, please tell him not to overexert himself. Futile request though it is. And tell him that all is well here. The peace you gifted us continues, and we work hard to build new lives for ourselves. In the course of this, we occasionally bicker, but we've never been more optimistic for the morrow. If I had to mention one dilemma, it would be the question of our governance. It's funny because you should see the Crystal Tower, but I think because of the weather, maybe? Yeah, like you can faintly see it through the fog. Even as we speak, debate rages on over how we should run the city in the Exarch's absence. Most are of a mind that the Settlement Council should continue to oversee the general running of the Crystarium, while representatives are elected to determine policy and handle diplomacy. Thus far nothing is set in stone, but however we choose to proceed, we will not replace our lord. No one could. Have we recently observed any unusual phenomena? No, I cannot say there have been. Curious that you should ask me this question, though. Some days ago, Reen came and asked the very same. She was rather unsettled, in stark contrast to how cheerful she has been of late. Reen has been dedicating herself to the restoration of the empty, you see. Though it will take many long years, the goal seems to have given her a newfound sense of purpose and fulfillment. So when I saw her in a state of such worry, I couldn't help but feel worried in turn, especially since she wouldn't tell me what troubled her. I dare say she would be more willing to confide in you. May I ask you to broach the subject with her? You wish to enter the umbilicus? Very well. I shall fetch the key at once, and take the opportunity to find Reen. Please wait for me in the city, in front of the Cabinet of Curiosity, shall we say. I will be along as soon as I can. I think I'm gonna do a playthrough of the story of... Went to the wrong one. Of the raids for Shadowbringers, because it has to do with Reen. Do it as like a little bonus thing. The following event cannot be skipped. Do my old eyes deceive? Is that truly a mask? Ah, it is. Full glad am I to see you hale and whole, my friend. What a wonderful surprise it is to have you back with us, and at this most opportune time. In case you haven't heard, we are planning to produce a tome chronicling events from the flood to the knight's return. For this project, we intend to draw upon records kept by the world's peoples. Historical and contemporary first-hand accounts will be the centerpiece of the tome, but yours would be the one to crown them all. I've been asked to contribute a chapter on the soul, a subject that is key to understanding much of your endeavors. In the course of developing the spirit vessel, I gained valuable insights into travel beyond the rift, knowledge that will allow me to attest to your existence and deeds. There is no end to the questions I would ask you, but if you could indulge me just one for now. In your quest to restore the night, you faced many a formidable foe. Among them, who offered you the greatest struggle? Hades, who bore the burden of his people. Ah, yes, Hades, he who sought to resurrect his ancient brethren. He was the final obstacle in your quest to restore the night, your battle in the depths of the tempest, the stuff of epics. Yet compelling as it is, I worry that mere words wouldn't do justice to that fateful confrontation. Now that we would think to omit it entirely, of course, no, at the very least we will impress upon readers that it was the climax of your journeys, your hero's journey. I know you'd like to talk his ear off, Morn, but we really should be on our way. Those documents from Yomor won't collect themselves. Of course, of course. And afterwards, would you care to join me for tea? I was hoping you might clarify a few points in your treaties. Till next time, then. Do tell the others to look after themselves. Our overzealous friend in particular, remind him not to overexert himself again and again till his ears fall off, if that's what it takes for him to take it to heart. It's just going to be one big reunion. Is that the Warrior of Darkness? Ricky Tio! It's him, it's really him. What are you doing here? If you're going to battle, I can give you some medicine. I made it myself. Best not, Ricky. You'd only give him a stomachache. We've come to see Morin to give it his advice. One of the god finally agreed to teach us how to fight, but first we need to choose a fighting style. While I know that I want to be a mage, Archeo isn't sure. Magic really isn't my thing, so I was thinking of taking up the axe, or the sword, or maybe the bow. They all seem alright, but it's hard to decide, so I thought I'd ask Morin. He knows about a lot these things. He isn't here? Ah. Oh, ooh, why don't we have the Warrior of Darkness choose for you? What do you think suits Archeo best? Axe, sword, or bow? For fighting and hunting, both. The bow. The bow. If you took up the bow, you could be just like Renda Ray, the Warrior of Light. I love that tale. Let's borrow the book today. It's really popular, though. I hope it's still there. Thanks for helping me decide Warrior of Darkness. I'll start with that style and maybe try something else later on. And when I get really strong, I hope to have a bout with you. Bye, Ricky Tio. Oh my god, Ricky Tio. Oh my god, Ricky Tio. Such fun he's been having basking in the adoration of musty old bookworms and wide-eyed younglings, but does he spare a thought for me? Of course not. I waited and waited and waited, but he won't so much as acknowledge the presence of his beautiful branch, even though they're right here. Such a heartless thing our sapling is, cold and cruel and heartless. Feol, I need you. Why do you say it like a question? Where's the love, the respect, the awe? But disappointed as I am, I overtook it this once. I know you have a lot on your mind right now. So, my adorable sapling, the world is on the verge of destruction, is it? How do I know this? Joined as we are, spying on you is as simple as sliding down the back of a rainbow. Would that I could aid you in your quest, but the fate of we Fey folk is bound to that of the star. Whither it goes, so too do we follow. Such is our way. The most I could do for you is spare you the pain by gifting you the sweetest of eternal dreams. But if escape's not to your liking, then you must struggle with your fellow mortals. Ah, but here are the ones you were waiting for. I wonder what manner of conclusion awaits at tale's end. My apologies for the delay. MSQ, it's so wonderful to see you again. You doubtless have much catching up to do, so I shall leave you to it. I have taken the liberty of unlocking the umbilicus, and you may enter at your leisure. I'm relieved to hear that everyone is well. I've had this feeling like a pit in my stomach, and I was afraid that something might have happened. Maybe I'm overthinking things, but it's just that I'm the Oracle of Light, but I've never spoken with Hylian, never once heard her call. Even so, I've always had this feeling deep inside me, a connection to something immense. These past few days, though, that connection has wavered, as if that immense something was distant, then close, then distant again. And then the other night I was jolted awake by the feeling it had been completely severed. Wanting some fresh air, I wanted to open the window, and to my horror, the sky was ablaze, like during the star shower. But then I blinked and everything was normal. The next day, no one said a thing. No one else had seen what I had seen. As far as I could tell, nothing was out of the ordinary. I began to wonder if it was a figment of my half-remembered dream. MSQ, what are you not telling me? I have to know, please. It doesn't matter how terrible it is. Was it my imagination then? The doom we witnessed in Amarat has come again. I can't believe it. Like I told you before, all is well here in the first, so don't worry about us, please. Look only to the threat before you. We're fine right now, and even if we weren't, we'd learn how to survive. Should the final days reach us here as well, you'll be sure we won't go quietly. Now we'll hold on until you can find a way to save all our worlds. So long as you continue your fight, so too will we, united in purpose beneath a blazing sky. Better to tell them now so that they're prepared, and when it happens, they don't have to, like, lose everybody. That's just my 2 cents. You're headed to the umbilicus to consult with Elidibus, right? That was a nice rhyme. I do some consulting on my own and speak with Lena. Decide how we might best prepare for the final days. So it's farewell for now, but we'll see each other again, I'm certain of it. That's actually going to do it for this one, guys. We'll continue in the next one. So in the meantime, like and subscribe, and I hope you take care.